to episode 16 of the Borty and Nihar Show.
Big 16.
Yeah, we made it to 16, and we are currently, this is going to be a weird one because we don't have NFL games this weekend. We have a Pro Bowl, but it's not even a Pro Bowl.
It's already played, right?
They're like some skill games or something.
I didn't even watch it.
I watched some of the YouTube videos, but it's like it's just fun. It's like there's nothing to analyze, so it's like. So we're not going to do any NFL picks at the end. As soon as we finish our NBA segment, this is going to be the end of this episode. But hey, let us know what you guys want to see next in the show after the Super Bowl is over, because we want to hear your opinions and where you think the show should go next. So, with that being said, let's just go straight into the top NFL news of the week. And of course, Nihar, the number one news of the week is none other than the greatest of all time, Tom Brady. He is calling it quits. He is retiring. What do you think of that? Tom Brady decided to retire. What do you think about that?
Although I didn't necessarily feel the impact like last time. I was like, oh my god, like he retired. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But it did. Even though I didn't feel as much impact, it did surprise me a little bit because I was like thinking, okay, he pretty much gave up his marriage to play football, and I'm sure he's going to keep continuing for a little bit because this is what he loves to do. If he gave up his marriage for this, he's going to keep playing a few more years and then call it quits. Maybe play another year. You know, there are a lot of rumors either playing with the Raiders or with the Niners potentially as well. So I was thinking, okay, those are like the two teams, you know, he's considering. He might go one last run, just one more year, and then call it quits. But, you know, he decided to retire. You know, I think it's good for him, though. Like, I know I used to hate him in a lot, but I honestly think, you know, he's trying to, you know, get his, you know, I guess, you know, get his marriage back, be there more for his kids.
Do you think he'll get his marriage back? Because they divorced. Like, I feel like once you get a divorce, it's kind of pretty much final.
I mean, I guess make it on better terms.
Yeah, you know, I guess co-parenting.
I guess, and also,
I guess being there for the kids more.
Like, his son plays a high school football right now.
Oh, really?
So I think what I've heard is that, you know, he goes to his games a lot. Now he's been going every week to his games, seeing how he does.
That's crazy. Like, just imagine, like, he has to live up to Tom Brady's name. Like,
I'm sure Tom Brady doesn't want that pressure on him.
Yeah.
Right? But it's going to be put upon him anyways.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, also the kid's fine. Like, he can do nothing in his life.
Michael Jordan's son didn't even make the NBA, and he's, like, chilling with life.
Yeah, I mean, dude, they're just living off their parents' wealth, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's just, like, that's what they do. And, I mean, obviously, like, I don't know what their mindset is, but, I mean, they're secure. They're completely secure because of what their parents did. But Tom Brady retiring is a bit sad. I mean, look, he's done so much for the game. I mean, that's all we've known ever since we've watched the NFL. I mean, when he was starting in the NFL, we were 1 year old.
Yeah,
like, we've never known football without Tom Brady playing in the NFL. So let's take a little trip back through memory lane, Nihar. Let's talk about Tom Brady's Super Bowls that we watched. What was the first Super Bowl you remember watching Tom Brady play in?
The first Super Bowl actually was the 2007 one, the undefeated season.
Oh, really?
It was the Giants, Patriots, the first Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
I actually, at that time, I actually wanted the Patriots to win because I thought, you know, it'd be pretty cool to see them have an undefeated season. But then, you know, New York literally shocked the world
with the David Tyree catch. Do
you
remember watching that catch?
I remember that.
What was your reaction?
At first I thought there's no way. Like, I first thought Eli Manning was sacked. I was like, nah, there's no way.
Yeah.
Like, Eli Manning, like, he's gonna get this off, and then he escapes and he just chucks it up, and then, you know, Tyree caught it, and then Burris catches a touchdown. I thought they still had enough time to maybe get in field goal range, maybe make something, but they couldn't do it. And you know, it was like probably one of the most shocking upsets in Super Bowl history.
Yeah, the fact that team, I think they went 9-7 that year, or 10-6.
Something like that.
9-7. They were like not a great playoff team.
They were the last seed in the NFL, like in their conference. They were the wild card 6th seed.
I wasn't watching football back then, but I mean, when was the next time Tom Brady made the Super Bowl after
2011.
That's
they lost
the
the
first.
Giants again.
That's the Super Bowl I remember watching.
Because the Niners should have been in there, but you know.
The NFC Championship, Niners lost to the Giants. The Giants went to play the Patriots.
I wanted the Patriots to win because I was mad that the Giants beat the Niners.
Yeah,
because
like, back then you were a Niners fan.
Yeah, so I wanted Tom Brady to beat them and get that revenge. But
Yeah.
it didn't happen again.
Instead, I remember they got a safety, right? It started
Yeah.
like 2-0, and I was so confused. I was like, can someone explain to me why that's a safety?
Because it was like intentional grounding or something.
Yeah, I think it was intentional
But
grounding
they were
while he was
back in
in
their own end zone. So
Yeah.
I think that's what they call a safety.
So the game started 2-0 Giants.
That was the first play of the game, right? I think.
I don't know about I think you're
Or the
mixing
first
this.
pass.
Maybe. I'm not
Because
sure.
there was like I remember somebody was talking about how if you like placed a bet that the first pass of the game for the Patriots or the first possession would be a safety, you'd win like $50K or something.
Oh, really?
Yeah. If you
Wow.
put like a small wager on that. Yeah.
That's insane. So, I mean, yeah. I mean, I remember the first snap of the Broncos Seahawks game. That was a safety.
Oh yeah, that was.
But that's a separate time. But I remember watching that game. I wanted the Patriots to win because I didn't like that the Giants beat us. Nevertheless, the Giants still won. So,
But we're not going to talk about the infamous Super Bowl. I'm gonna pretend I know.
is that the
so-
next time Tom Brady made the Super Bowl?
Yeah, unfortunately.
We had the 1-yard pass made by your favorite quarterback, Russell Wilson, and then we saw Tom Brady jumping in joy on the sideline.
That's
Because-
crazy. I think like literally the trajectory of the league changed from that moment.
You think
Because
so?
If you think about it, right? Tom Brady had 3 Super Bowls at that time.
Mm-hmm.
That was his 4th one. When he beat Seattle.
Yeah.
If he lost, he would have had 3 Super Bowls. Russell Wilson would have had 2 at that time. And the Legion of Boom, I don't think it
Dissolves. You
yeah.
don't think it goes away?
because a lot of like hostility was towards, Russell Wilson and, Pete Carroll from that Super Bowl, the Legion of Boom. That's when the tension started to form. Like that literally I felt changed the trajectory of the entire league like as we see it today.
So you think Tom Brady destroyed the Legion of Boom?
I mean, pretty much.
Wow.
I think that Super Bowl like was the end.
They
of
were
it.
down 24-14. I remember that pass to Julian Edelman to get the score up. Russell Wilson throws a prayer to Jermaine Kearse.
That was I was like, yo.
Yeah, insane. And then, obviously, the 1-yard Malcolm Butler interception to seal Brady's 4th ring. The first time we saw Brady win a ring, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that was the first time.
That was the first time we saw Brady win a ring, and then he won 3 more.
That's when I remember I was using Facebook, like Twitter, like tweeting through or like posting through that. Everybody was just roasting me at the end. Like,
Everyone.
Because I prematurely said, "Oh, Seattle's winning the Super Bowl. Can't wait for the Seahawks to win. Patriots going down."
Seahawks repeat didn't happen.
Yeah.
And then what happened? They went to the Super Bowl again 2 years later, and this is the infamous.
28-3.
And we both wanted the Falcons to win,
Yeah, I
right? Because
did.
we're like, Brady has too many Super Bowls,
Yeah.
man. At this point, we need more Super Bowls for other teams. I don't think the Falcons even have a Super Bowl win in their like life. I don't think they've
so,
ever
no.
had a
No.
Super Bowl win. So we wanted the Falcons to finally get one. And we thought they did when Tevin Coleman, and we just watched the highlight, right? Tevin Coleman just walked in, and it was still like middle of the 3rd quarter. And
Yeah.
Tom Brady took over the game.
I was really upset at that. I remember. I think you have a video of me like throwing like a hat.
Yeah,
like,
we have a lot.
Yeah.
I think I was doing a whole Snapchat vlog that day. Me and Nihar were watching. We wanted the Falcons to win, and Stavon wanted the Patriots to win.
Yeah. I don't know. Why was he supporting the Patriots? Didn't know.
I think he just like wanted Tom Brady to be
Okay.
great or something like that. And I mean, he predicted it early, right?
He kept on saying they're gonna come back, and even
Yeah.
I think I remember my dad was also saying like don't.
Don't count them out.
Yeah, I remember all our parents were there.
28-3, and we were watching this at Stavon's place. I remember that. And then they go to the Super Bowl again. Like the next 2 years, they went to the Super Bowl again.
I was really happy, when the Eagles won. I was like, let's go.
The
Like,
Eagles beat them. That is probably my favorite Super Bowl ever.
That was like the craziest
Best
offensive
effort.
like
I-
firepower.
And like to be honest, like in terms of Super Bowls, just thinking about this Super Bowl, no matter the result, I don't think this Super Bowl is gonna have any chance of becoming my favorite Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Like irregardless
Unless
of the
it's
outcome.
like an overtime,
I mean, maybe, but even still, like I don't really like the Chiefs, and I really don't like the Eagles. And we'll talk about more once we
Yeah.
talk about but we'll keep it Brady related. But still, the Eagles Patriots one, that is definitely my number one favorite Super Bowl of all time. Hopefully that'll be replaced soon with a 49ers Super Bowl win. But for now, that is my favorite Super Bowl of all time. Brady, I mean, he almost put up 500 yards passing in that Super Bowl.
No, he did.
He did.
505 yards passing.
Oh my God. And
They still
is that the
lost.
record? Is
Yeah,
that
that's
the record? So he has that. I mean, Brady has so many records. That's just who Brady is. And then what's that? Then they go to Super Bowl 53, play the Rams, and this is Sean McVay's elite offense, putting up 3 points in the Super Bowl.
Bill Belichick did a masterclass.
That wasn't like Tom Brady. It wasn't really a Tom Brady game, right? Like he didn't really deserve that Super Bowl win,
It
right?
was just like I really felt that was the Saints year. I remember watching. I thought the Saints had like a really good run.
Yeah.
And then that call, they didn't call that
The offensive or the pass interference.
Yeah, like clearly because like the Saints would have been able to run out the clock. They would have kicked the field goal at the end to win the game.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt the Saints had a like really good chance that time.
And I believe the Chiefs lost to the Patriots that year, and that was also like if D Ford wasn't offsides, the Chiefs. It could have been a Saints Chiefs Super Bowl.
Yeah. That's what I predicted. That's what I thought would happen.
Actually, both games were pretty controversial.
Yeah.
Like both, it could have been.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, that was Tom Brady's 6th ring.
Yeah, that was a 6th.
And then he didn't go back to the Super Bowl until
Tampa.
the year after. Not the year after, but the year 2 years after.
Yeah, in Tampa, yeah.
And he won his first ring. This is when I finally caved in and I was like, yeah, Tom Brady's the GOAT. Because he not only won a couple of rings with another team, he went to a new team and still won a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And that what I think is what cements his status
And
as the greatest.
He beat after he beat the Commanders on they were Redskins or Washington football team.
Yeah, they were football time.
Yeah, they beat them on the road.
Yeah.
He beat Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers, and Patrick Mahomes in one playoff run.
Yeah, that is an insane playoff
I feel like
run.
I don't know how anybody could
Stacked Bucks team.
Yeah.
And then they kind of and then the year after, they fell short against the Rams. They were still a pretty decent team. They had they had everybody.
They came back from that game 27-3.
They did.
Yeah.
They did.
Tied at 27.
Actually, a lot. I think we all thought the Bucks were going to go back to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But the Rams upset. The Niners lost the Rams to the NFC Championship, and then the Rams won the Super Bowl that year. And then this
we were
year,
robbed of like a Jimmy G, Tom Brady,
NFC Championship.
NFC Championship, yeah.
Yeah, but this year, it's kind of sad. An 8-9 record, this. I think this is the first time Tom Brady's had a losing record, and it just
I just felt like the Bucks were just off the entire
and the
year.
playoffs, they were so pathetic against the Cowboys.
I felt that we thought that playoffs
Yeah,
Tom Brady's
Brady
gonna
will
pick
figure it
up.
out. Yeah.
But they just could never. Yeah.
But nevertheless, it is an amazing career. I mean, if you look at
career.
his 20s and 30s and 40s individually, you can make a case that each decade is its own Hall of Fame career.
Yeah, I was seeing some stats, right? Like each decade he played, or every it was something like that. Like his first few years were pretty much identical to it was I don't know. Some people did it was he had a Troy Aikman, a similar career.
Yeah.
Then the one part was Dan Marino, and the other part was Joe Montana.
Yeah.
So he was able to replicate those three in one career.
Yeah, I remember each decade is still comparable to a Hall of Fame quarterback.
Yeah.
Which is insane. So Tom Brady is definitely a first ballot Hall of Famer. I can't wait.
2028, yeah, Canton's gonna.
That Hall of Fame speech is going to be a good one.
Yeah.
Definitely tune in for that one. But hey, Tom Brady, if you're watching, I don't think you are, but if you're watching,
please come to the Niners.
What an amazing career. We'll never know the NFL like it ever is from here on out because.
But I think it's in good hands right now. I really do.
You think Mahomes is the new Brady?
The AFC is stacked with quarterbacks, man.
Yeah. Do you think do you think we're going to have a quarterback like Brady ever again? That many Super Bowl wins?
I don't know about that, but we could have more talented. Yeah. I feel like Mahomes. I
mean, we already have more talented quarterbacks in the league. We have Mahomes, we have.
But if there's somebody that could, eventually make the GOAT case down the line, it's Mahomes.
Yeah, I agree. He could definitely
because he has the stats and if he gets more Super Bowls.
If he wins the Super Bowl, yes too.
Somebody was saying Tom Brady's the Bill Russell of the NFL, where he has because Bill Russell he
11 rings,
11
right?
rings, right? Obviously Bill Russell was clutch too. He obviously people say Michael Jordan's a good because he has so many accolades. Plus he's so talented too, more talented. So people were saying Tom Brady because Tom Brady's not the most talented, right?
Yeah.
Ever, but he has the most accolades. He was clutch. So people say he's the Bill Russell.
He is
and
the
Mahomes
most longevity.
Could be the Jordan of the NFL one day. Yeah.
I'm speaking of Jordan. That's why we have the Air Jordan out
Happy
here.
MJ Day. 2/3/23.
It is MJ Day, so that's why we have the Jordan out here. Um, and let's talk about. I mean, we gave Tom Brady his flowers, right?
Yeah.
I think we did. But I mean, what the league is gonna look like now after Tom Brady leaves?
Mahomes, Burrow, Herbert, Lamar, Josh Allen, Trevor Lawrence. That's already 6 in the AFC.
Yeah, but NFC, man. Like, what are
Who's
the
in
Bucks
the
gonna do?
NFC?
Like, I don't know. Like,
Brock Purdy.
what do you think the Bucks do at quarterback?
I mean, you either get Jimmy G or Derek Carr at this point,
You think so?
Yeah.
You don't think you have no faith in Kyle Trask whatsoever?
No.
Okay.
You need a veteran quarterback with like those receivers.
And who are those receivers? Mike Evans, Godwin.
I mean, Julio's a free agent. I think Julio's washed. It
Okay.
sucks, but I think they still like a decent defense, and
Do you think a Jimmy G or a Derek Carr can still lead the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to a playoffs?
in that division, yeah.
Okay.
Because
Yeah.
Sean Payton's out. I guess we'll get into that later. I mean Panthers. We're not really sure.
Yeah,
We
I
can't
mean
re-
the Panthers could win the
but we
division.
don't know, right?
Yeah.
And Falcons. I mean, we don't know either.
Yeah.
right?
Who's your bet for winning the division?
If the Bucks get a decent quarterback, I'll still say the Bucks.
Let's say Bucks get Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah.
Just to go with the storyline of Garoppolo's Brady successor.
Yeah.
You think they win the division? Okay. With Todd Bowles still at head coaching though?
I mean, they're gonna get a new offensive coordinator, right? So
Yeah. So, yeah,
he's mainly a
that's
defense guy. So
that's the future of the NFC South and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We have no idea what to expect. I mean, to
Yeah.
be fair, Tampa Bay knew this was coming, right? They put all their energy on Tom Brady for a win now.
It worked.
It worked. They got a ring out
If
of
you
it.
get a ring out of it, I feel like it works.
Yeah.
To me, it's like, okay, I know a lot of people disagree with this, but I'd rather have a ring, and then even if we're like atrocious the rest of the years, or like almost, or we're like okay,
Yeah.
I'll take that.
So you like that's essentially what the Rams did as well.
Yeah, I'd rather be the Rams
Okay.
than the 49ers. Even though the 49ers get deep into the playoffs,
Every year.
it's just like, why would you want to go through that heartbreak, right?
Yeah.
You'd rather not like be almost winning than like actually winning, right?
Yeah, pain. Speaking of which, we'll talk about the NFC Championship, the AFC Championship.
Yeah.
I mean, this was the number one news of the week, so that's why we talked about it.
Really
The
good
number two news of the week is, God, everyone is angry about the refereeing in that Chiefs-Bengals AFC Championship. So, Bill Simmons says, you can't call the late hit on Mahomes after you ignored the late hit on Burrow a few minutes earlier. Those refs were horrible. They weren't even fishy bad, more completely incompetent bad. Great work, NFL.
It was like the refs, like every ref, like from every sport, decided to just like conspire and just, what? How can you think of calling every bad call? It first started with the LeBron thing, and then even in the Niners game too, right? It was like, oh,
A lot of questionable calls in that game. Yeah.
They counted that Devontae Smith catch,
Yeah.
which wasn't a catch, and then even on the Philly second drive of the game, remember there were like a few like they called pass interference on Ward.
Yeah.
I was like, nah, that wasn't,
Yeah.
Like, they called a lot of things, right? Even that running into the kicker on Mason wasn't, because the Philly guy pushed him.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
wasn't
I remember
either.
that.
So there were like a few
whole game was
questionable
a
calls
blur.
that game, and then I feel like what really stood out to me was that 3rd and 9. Do you remember they were?
They
like,
just
oh,
awarded a first down to Kansas City, right?
No.
Or something?
It was like a redo.
Yeah,
Third
redo.
and-
Yeah,
yeah.
because I think an NFL player, NFL official called a timeout.
Yeah, but they were playing like as if like nobody heard the ref.
Yeah.
They played as if like it was just.
That was very strange.
And
That was
then
definitely
there
very
was like a 3rd and
strange.
2. It was like they called a pass interference on Mike Hilton, which I thought wasn't. And then they called that Joe Burrow, because Frank Clark pushed him.
Yeah, and that wasn't called. I
Yeah.
remember Joe Burrow was looking at the ref like, "What the hell? Like, call
Yeah.
that call." But
But that Mahomes one, it was the correct call.
Yeah.
It was very egregiously like he was already out of bounds.
did you
I mean,
see that linebacker in the Bengals saying, "Well, like this is my last season. What the fuck? Like,
Yeah.
why'd you touch the quarterback?
I
Like
felt-
that's bad
obviously,
teammates."
That's not like good to say, but I
Yeah.
get like in the heat of the moment, like you're very upset because it's like AFC Championship, right?
Yeah.
It's like you're knocking on the doorstep to a.
I mean, if he
potential
didn't
Super
do
Bowl.
that, we potentially are going to overtime.
Yeah.
Right. Again.
That was a 60-yard field goal from there. I'm sure they would have tried to run one more play.
Yeah.
To get
But they had
closer.
no more timeouts.
They had no more
left.
timeouts.
Yeah.
So like, what would they? I mean, would they have just played the sideline, just get 5 yards and just
But that 15-yard was killer.
Yeah.
Kansas City wins, and Bengals fans. I know I picked you guys to win, but maybe that was reverse psychology. I finally caved in and picked the Bengals to win. And the Bengals are now going to Cancun on 3.
Man, all those Bengals, man, like,
to be fair,
talking,
dude,
bro.
that was unbelievable. Like, I can't believe the amount of level of trash talking by the Bengals. Like,
You can't talk unless you win something. The Chiefs been to 2 Super Bowls. They've won a Super Bowl.
Yes.
I know you beat them 3 times. Yeah, I guess you could talk a little bit. But, man, just wait till after the game. You could say Burrowhead. You could say we own you guys after you beat them. After you beat them for a 2nd year in a row. Then you can say that. I'm perfectly fine with that.
The trash talking was insane. I don't think I've ever seen a team trash talk this much before a playoff game. We had Burrowhead.
Fair, they didn't get their ass kicked, so it's like, okay.
They didn't, but they still lost. Yeah. And I know the Chiefs players.
Oh, Kelsey was like,
they took that shit deep. Chris Jones said that.
Chris Jones
don't
stepped
you
up, man.
ever call this Burrowhead, and don't you?
2 sacks. He
got Burrow.
Because like even Chris Jones at the press conference was like, "See y'all in Burrowhead," right? Remember?
Yeah, I remember.
He was like,
that shit.
He took that like that's a definition of like that Michael Jordan like meme like and
taking that personally. Yeah, exactly.
He really took it personally. So did Mahomes.
The Cincinnati mayor. Like, what the hell?
Well, like, nobody knows who you are, bro. Like, just like stop talking, man.
Oh man, Cincinnati mayor's talking shit too. Like I was actually very, very glad because, I mean, they were talking so much shit. They kind of deserved this to blow up in their face. So, congrats, Bengals fans. Now you know what it's like to have shit blow up in your face. Yeah. Maybe next time you guys play the Chiefs in the AFC Championship. And now, here, I'll give you guys this. You guys have my respect now. You guys will probably be back in the AFC Championship next year. I don't doubt.
Other teams like,
I don't doubt. Yeah, maybe. But now I don't doubt Cincinnati as a top tier AFC team. Yeah. Before I did. I said last season was a fluke.
I just feel like the Chiefs are just like on a whole new tier. It's like the Chiefs are like their own tier, and then it's like there's like great. And there's like really good. I feel like the Bengals are in that really good.
You think so? I mean, we could be having a completely different conversation if the officiating was just a little bit better, right?
I mean, to be fair, I felt like not enough criticism is pointed at Joe Burrow for this game.
You feel like Joe Burrow deserves more criticism?
Yeah, I feel like definitely, right? You throw 2 interceptions, like when you could have had
launching it deep and just like getting intercepted.
That's like how the Bills played last week. Like I was like criticizing the Bills. When they had like 3rd and short, why were you like throwing it like 30 yards down the field, right? That's what the Bengals did.
Yeah.
And like it's just like uncharacteristic of them, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But they are a good team. They should win the division next year. Yeah. I mean, even if Lamar goes back to Baltimore, I still think Cincinnati's winning this division.
I agree with that.
And Cleveland,
Cleveland, bro. The Dogs, go Dogs,
I lived in Cleveland for 4 years, and let me just tell you, like, it's a huge mixed bag with Cleveland right now. They could. I don't think they'll have the level of support they had when Baker Mayfield took them to the playoffs, just with the whole Deshaun Watson thing. And then the Steelers, I mean, they're always there, right? They're always a 9-8. Right? They're always there. I mean, they could. I mean, what do you think? Do you think the Steelers could? Yeah. So Baltimore. I mean, it's a great division, but I still think Cincinnati is the favorite to win that division. Anyways, Cincinnati is a top tier AFC team. I think they are number 2 behind the Chiefs. Yeah. I don't think the Buffalo Bills are better than Cincinnati. If they play again next season, I think Cincinnati beats them. So, yeah, let's talk about these. So, I mean, regardless, the Bengals are not in the Super Bowl, even though they were very close to. We'll give them that. But the Kansas City Chiefs are back. But on the other side, the NFC Championship, this is number 3 on the NFL news. That NFC Championship, that
wasn't even a game.
That was so not, like, that's just unlucky. Like, the fact that, and all these pundits on these TV shows were saying something like, oh, if the Eagles still played, if Brock Purdy wasn't hurt, Eagles probably still would have won that game.
You can't say that.
I think that is horseshit. I think
because the Niners defense like contained Hurts. Like Hurts didn't play well.
Yeah, 121 yards.
The receivers didn't play well.
The running backs were playing well though. Miles Sanders.
They had less yards. Like they didn't have like their yards per carry wasn't impressive, but they just kept on running it.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
Just like try to like out like physical the 49ers.
Yeah, and I mean it worked. I mean
because like when you
worked.
keep running it, like eventually like the defense will get tired.
Yeah, because we're not scoring any points. The defense is now like, what's the point?
When the
we
defense
don't
is out there for 38 minutes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You can't like we don't have a shot. I mean, even if Josh Johnson didn't get concussed, we still didn't have a shot. This guy was fumbling snaps.
Like, bro, how do you fumble a snap? Like, it's just a bait. Bro, you've been in the NFL for 15 years.
Bro, like what did you say? He's a Delta
Sky Miles premium member. He's been on 13 different NFL teams.
He's been flying all over the United States. So, you have that. And then Brock Purdy, this is the news. Brock Purdy suffered a complete tear of the UCL in his throwing elbow and will undergo surgery, per sources. He's getting second opinions. The initial hope he can undergo a repair and not a reconstruction. By the way, a UCL reconstruction is called Tommy John surgery. That is a killer.
For a year.
Yeah, he'll be out for a year if he gets a Tommy John surgery. He's trying to see if he can be back in 6 months.
Yeah.
And he'll be ready for training camp. That's just not fair. Like, it's cursed.
Has a lot to answer for this.
What do you think?
I feel like a lot of blame's not being, put on Kyle Shanahan.
Why do you think Kyle Shanahan deserves the blame?
For starters, he didn't challenge the 4th and 3.
You mean the Devontae Smith one? But he said he saw the same camera angles.
They were like hurrying up. Devontae Smith was going like this. Like, that means like hurry up. Like, as a coach, because this is the criticism of Kyle Shanahan. Situationally football, he is not good. Like, when you have to use, run off the clock, use your timeouts properly. It was the first half, too. Like, think about it. Like, does the game, in hindsight, maybe, does that not change everything if the Niners get the ball at midfield compared to, having to start from 0-7?
For all we know, that could have been, Purdy probably wouldn't have been hurt, maybe.
You don't know. Yeah, right. That's what I'm saying, right?
Yeah,
and,
they would have had a different game
plan.
There
was also a criticism, right, where in the play action, where Purdy got hurt, they put a Tyler Kroft blocking Hassan Reddick.
Yeah, which was a lot of people are criticizing that game plan.
So that's two things, right? That are big.
But it's so unfortunate because nobody tries to. You don't expect your quarterback to be hurt and out because of bad game planning.
But apparently in play action they do that a lot, where they put tight ends on the pass.
Yeah, it happens, and I mean it's just so unfortunate. Even if it was just a hair earlier or a hair later, Purdy maybe would not had that maybe would have not had that injury. So we have a 49ers Eagles rematch happening next season.
Oh, regular season?
Regular season.
Where's it at this time?
It's going to be in Philly.
Oh.
And what do you think? Do you think the Niners could win that game if
mean,
they had the same team?
They could, but I feel like some guy's going to be gone. I mean, Jimmy Ward's probably going to be gone.
Maybe.
The way it's looking.
Yeah.
Unless he gets a bag from the Niners.
Mm-hmm.
I think Al-Shaair is going to be gone. Trent Williams might retire. We don't know.
Yeah.
He's thinking of retiring. I think you need to.
I think he'll come back for one more season.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I think McGlinchey needs to be replaced because I think he's the weak link, right?
Yeah.
You think so, right?
Yeah.
We don't know how Trey Lance is gonna. If Trey Lance is most likely
huge question mark.
So
let's talk about the quarterback situation in San Francisco. What do you think you should do if you're John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan right now?
I think it is smart to stick with either Trey or Purdy because you also want to save money.
Yeah.
So you can reconstruct your roster
because they don't seem interested in going for a veteran quarterback.
Yeah.
I do think it is kind of.
Shanahan's that reporter asked, do you see a scenario where Jimmy G returns? He's like, no.
Yeah, exactly.
So, this is really the end of the Jimmy G era, right?
Yeah, yeah.
This is for sure. It's not we're playing around and there's gonna be a new report saying. Breaking news: Jimmy Garoppolo signs a 1-year deal with incentives.
If in March it comes out that Jimmy G re-signs with the 49ers, these guys are trolling us.
Yeah.
But
you really think it's the end of the Jimmy G era,
I think so. I think so.
And it's Trey Lance
Look,
time.
The reason we had Jimmy G back was because we were not sure about. Well, first of all, nobody wanted Jimmy G
because of his shoulder. He got the
so nobody so Niners kind of had to keep him, and then he got hurt. Trey Lance got hurt. Jimmy G was great insurance for that. But now,
He
look
did
at us.
keep the season afloat, saved
He
them.
kept the season
He saved
afloat.
the season.
He had like what? I mean, before Purdy came in, he had like a
17. He had 17 touchdowns to only 4 picks.
He had 7 or 6 games, 6 straight wins, or something like that. He played amazingly.
Yeah, he was doing really good.
I mean, after the Chiefs game, right? He played great.
There were rumors like, you know, the crazy thing before the Dolphins game was played, right? There was like a report that came out saying, you know, Jimmy G's gonna have like an extension with the 49ers.
Like the Niners were open to that because if Jimmy G stayed healthy and he led them, let's say the same result happened, right? We went all the way to the NFC Championship, then maybe he could be gone, maybe he could be back. If we were beating Philly, if we beat Philly with a healthy Jimmy Garoppolo, and we're going to the Super Bowl, and I mean rematch against the Chiefs, I mean who knows if we win that, but. Like, hey, that's a great case.
And then, you know, Trey Lance gets traded, you know. Purdy's still, you know, going to be the backup.
Can you just imagine if Jimmy G if he got healthier in a week, that would have been, like, he would have been back for the Philly game, and he could have maybe led this team.
There were rumors that Jimmy G was going to play in the Philly game, right?
They were kind of on the fence. They said, okay, it's best to save them for the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So that's what we had. And then it didn't work out because Purdy got hurt.
The thing is, if the Niners somehow made the Super Bowl, even with the Purdy injury, just somehow, right? Jimmy G would have been starting in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
And that would be a rematch against the Chiefs, too.
Yeah.
Isn't that insane? But nonetheless, we put up an amazing 7 points against the Philadelphia Eagles, who destroyed us.
7, I was like, you know.
Maybe, but then
like that
Josh Johnson was a killer, bro. Yeah. I kept saying every drive.
Josh Johnson.
And nobody. Okay, so here's the thing.
It's time to learn the Portuguese, buddy.
everybody.
Chinese, I don't know, Mandarin. You know, it's time for him to learn a new language.
Everybody thought that Josh Johnson. No. Everybody thought that this. What am I saying? I'm about to say the Celtics. No, everybody thought this game could have had a shot. But then Josh Johnson played dumb. And in every drive, I was like, what the hell? Why is he still in at quarterback? Why does Purdy still have his helmet on? What is going on? Like, is Purdy coming back in? A lot of people are saying, oh, Purdy's just being a coward.
That video I took? Okay, I'm not going to lie. I was one of those because I had money on Brock Purdy. So I was, more from a money perspective.
So everyone was like, what the hell?
I feel bad for, saying that. Because obviously Niners, have to look at it from a human perspective and, not from a...
Niners, like, everyone was saying, like, Purdy's just scared to go back in the game because he's injured. Like, grow a pair of balls and get back in the game.
Did you see the Ric Flair tweet? Ric Flair was like, I crashed a plane and said... Ric Flair tweeted, I crashed a plane and I still look,
Is he a... Ric Flair's a 49ers fan?
Yeah,
I think so. So, we find out this man can't throw a ball. His UCL is ruptured. Yeah. And, like, we don't have a quarterback. Like, Philly cannot say they deserve to go to the Super Bowl.
Even LaShawn McCoy, who's, like, a big Phillies homer, was like, I wasn't impressed by that Eagles.
So, do you think the Eagles are frauds?
No. Because
why not?
They're the two best teams in the NFC. Like, besides the Niners, it's going to be the Niners and the Eagles. I feel like for years to come, like, okay, let's look at it.
For years to come?
Yeah, because, like, look at it, right? I mean, Hurts is going to be there, right? They have that core, Hurts, Brown, Devontae.
I mean, the NFC East has a new divisional winner every year. Like, this year...
Let's be real, bro. The Cowboys suck. They're not going to do anything, all right?
The Giants could be good next year.
But I don't
the Commanders, maybe.
No.
Like,
no. Packers are going to not have Rodgers. Vikings, I don't know. They're, like, weird. The Bears are not going to do anything. I mean, realistically, maybe the Lions could somehow
become a good team. Who knows?
But that's it. It's going to be between the Niners and the Eagles for years to come. The Eagles have a really good team. Their roster's constructed really well. That's why I don't think they're frauds.
Okay. But what do you think about Nick Sirianni as a head coach?
He's done a good job.
Okay.
Because last year, right, he led them to the playoffs.
Yeah, still. No one expected him to go to the playoffs.
And now Super Bowl. Like, I can't say he's a bad coach.
Yeah.
Like, when you lead, like, a team nobody thought would make the playoffs, he led them, and now he's in the Super Bowl. Like, how can he say he's a bad coach?
Yeah. Well,
and they're favored to win. So
they are favored. Isn't that insane? I thought Kansas City would be favored, but we'll talk about Super Bowl picks next week because we still got to
wait till the injury reports and where all the information's out, who's playing, what's going on. So,
but we do know Eagles are wearing their they're wearing their home uniforms, and the Chiefs are going to wear their white uniforms.
Yeah.
So, speaking of which, the Eagles being in the Super Bowl, both of Carson Wentz's backups on the Eagles have now led their Eagles to a Super Bowl. We got Nick Foles winning one, and now we may have Jalen Hurts winning one.
Yeah.
What do you think about? What does it say about Carson Wentz? What does it say about the Eagles?
I mean, I think the Eagles were right to, draft a quarterback.
I remember everyone was reacting like, "Why the hell did we draft Jalen Hurts? We have
Yeah.
Carson Wentz. What's going on? Why are you doing
you
this?"
something, we all didn't.
Yeah.
Maybe, there are a lot of reports that, Carson Wentz wasn't a great leader in the locker room. People didn't really like him, things like that. So they just got like a quarterback, just in case,
And it worked out.
It worked out really well.
I mean, Jalen Hurts was playing Doug Peterson like when they were tanking, right?
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts was like playing that game. And that was like the weird Week 17 game. Like we thought the Eagles like weren't trying.
Yeah.
And Doug Peterson got fired after that. But if Jalen Hurts wins a Super Bowl, do you ever see Carson Wentz starting for an NFL team ever again?
I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, even right now, even if the Eagles don't win, it's his future doesn't look too strong.
Yeah.
I mean, where
true.
will Carson Wentz go to?
I don't know. Like we have no like
I feel like he's gonna be a career backup now.
yeah, I mean it makes the most sense, right? And then like speaking of which, like we'll just linger on Philadelphia a little bit longer. But if the Eagles go and lose the Super Bowl, Philadelphia will become the first city to lose 3 professional sports championships in the span of 3 months. So the Philadelphia Union in the MLS lost in the championship.
People watch MLS.
You don't like MLS?
People actually watch that shit.
You're pissing off a lot of
Oh,
MLS
bro,
fans.
No, dude, MLS, bro, they're so weird, bro. Like, dude, the only time like people watch like soccer is like when the World Cup starts. So, like they think they know it, like things about like soccer. Like, nah, bro. Like nobody watches that shit. Like I'm sure the number of views we have on our podcast, like more people watch that.
Oh
than
my
watch the
God,
MLS,
that's actually a violation. But so they said the Philadelphia Union lost in the MLS championship. Then you had the Philadelphia Phillies.
I'm really sad about the Philadelphia Union, bro.
Actually, who did they even lose to, bro?
Dude, that's
Philadelphia Union, bro.
I think that it was like the Seattle like Sounders. That's all. That's the
So
only
you
team
do know. Why are you acting like you don't know?
I don't know, because like I know like Russell Wilson invested in
Full-time Philadelphia Union. They lost to LAFC.
Oh, it's the one Gareth Bale. That's all I know because Gareth Bale's on there.
Yeah,
That's all I
Gareth
know,
Bale
bro.
scored in the 8th
Yeah.
minute. And then LAFC won 3-0 in the penalties. So now we're going to talk about what are we talking about now? We're still talking about Philly. Do you think it'll happen? Do you think Philly is going to lose 3 sports teams? And hey, if the Sixers make the NBA Finals, then we may have 4.
Since I'm saving my picks for next week, I'm not gonna say.
Oh, yeah. That's
Yeah.
smart.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say anything yet.
Yeah.
I'm gonna wait till next week.
But it would like I was so pissed off watching these Philadelphia fans just be like, haha, we won. We're going to the freaking Super Bowl. Let's go. Like, congrats. You beat a team with no quarterback.
Yeah.
And
also like I saw like a lot of Philly fans. They were like pretty mean to Fred Warner's wife. So Fred Warner. Yeah.
Really? I didn't hear about this.
Because like, yeah, she said like in a TikTok or something. Like, I think I think Fred Warner told her not to like bring any or wear anything red.
Oh.
Yeah, but she had a red purse. She was carrying a red purse, and I think someone saw that, and they were like shouting like a bunch of shit to her.
Oh my
she's
God,
like, I'm
Philly
never going
fans
back there.
Philly fans are
Yeah, they're nuts.
they're nuts. But I can't wait for Philly. I can't wait for Philly to lose the Super Bowl. I'm just giving you a sneak peek of who I think is going to win next week. But yeah, let's talk about, because we still have some NFL topics. That's the top 5 of the week. But we want to talk about some recent news, some more exciting news. The reason we have a Saints cap here today is because we want to congratulate the Saints for getting a first-round pick. What else? Did they get some more?
They got a 2023 first round. They got a first round pick this year. They got a second round pick next year. And the Broncos get Sean Payton and the third round pick for next year.
Oh, so they got a pick along with Sean Payton.
Yeah, but a third round pick.
But We were talking about the Broncos and who we think they're going to get as a head coach last week.
Was he saying Sean Payton?
We were definitely saying Sean Payton.
Yeah.
I said I think Denver should get Sean
Yeah.
Payton. And they did. They got Sean Payton. So what'd you think about this?
Oh, perfect hire. Like the absolute perfect hire. I don't think you could like get any hire better than this. I think you really actually like for real this time see the Broncos make some noise. Not like the fake hype I had last year or like a lot of people had. Like this is for real. Like you actually have a coach who's won who's won a Super Bowl, who has won many games, won playoff games, who's had like literally his career at the Saints, his offense has averaged 28 points a game.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the one thing Broncos were missing all year was the offense. If they had scored about maybe 8, there was like that stat, right? I think the first 10 or 11 games, if they had scored even like 18 points per game, they go like 9-1 or 10-1 to begin with. And like,
Yeah, okay.
if that's
interesting
all that
thing to
needs
think about.
fixing,
Yeah.
like the defense is like they're filled with studs, bro. Like that defense is crazy good.
Do you think the Saints can not the Saints. Do you think Sean Payton can fix Russ?
Yeah. Like every quarterback with Sean Payton was successful, so why can't Russell Wilson be? It's Russell Wilson. You can't judge one bad year and just be like, it's over with.
Mm. Well, you were saying it's over with.
Until I saw the last 2 weeks of the Broncos season
Okay.
without Nathaniel Hackett. I was like, nah, Russ still got it.
So, do you think the Broncos could win the division next
I
year?
don't know because, I got to respect the Chiefs. The Chiefs are still, that team.
Yeah.
I have to see it to believe it.
Okay. But you don't think that you think they can make the wild card?
The wild card, yeah. Wild card's definitely in play.
Good.
I think so.
You don't think the Chargers can run it back? You don't think the Raiders?
I mean, they got Kellen Moore, good hire as offensive coordinator, but I think Denver has the tools to be a wild card team. To finish second in the AFC West.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good one. And then another news is DeMeco Ryans, and this is what I predicted, and it ended up being true. He's going to the Texans. What do you think about that hire?
I thought that was a great hire. I think somebody who's played for them, somebody
he's loved there.
He was a defensive rookie of the year with the Texans.
Mm-hmm.
He had all pro years. He had his best years. Even J.J. Watt said he's like a leader and things like that. Like he's so connected to the Texans. Like this is like the perfect hire for the Texans to have like a culture.
And this is not going to be a 1-year firing.
I hope not. Like if they
can you see it being a 1-year firing?
I don't think so. But
okay.
Dude, like the Texans, like you don't know what they're up to. They might do 2 years if it doesn't go well.
Yeah, they should. Even if they have a bad year, they need to have invest in a coach for a long term.
Here's what
job.
I'll say. I feel like their ceiling this year is second in their division.
Behind the Jaguars?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because, bro, the Colts, I don't know, man.
So, I mean, who do you think Texans should go for OC? Because I know that's a huge question right now.
Bieniemy's there.
Why would Bieniemy leave Kansas City to go OC?
I think
for
he's
another
always
team?
wanted. Actually, he's always wanted to be like. I think he's always wanted to be like an OC or maybe a head coach somewhere else.
I'm sure he'd rather be a head coach, right? Otherwise, if he wants to be OC, why leave Kansas City? He has success there.
I mean, just to I guess get a new opportunity to work with new people.
But he might not have the same success.
That's
like
true,
Kansas
but,
City, he's had so much success.
I mean, DeMeco's leaving the Niners.
Yeah, but that's for a head coach. He's getting a promotion.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't expect someone to leave unless they get fired, right? Like, for example, Kellen Moore, 24 hours later, less than 24 hours later, getting fired as OC.
Yeah.
He's now the OC of the Chargers, right? I don't see that same story being for, Eric Bieniemy. They're not going to let go of Eric Bieniemy if they lose this game, right?
Yeah.
And Eric Bieniemy is not going to want to go to the Houston Texans to be OC.
Yeah.
I don't think that makes sense. I think you got to go for...
he was also interviewing OC to be with the Ravens.
Here's what I think about. Oh, he was interviewing to be an OC?
I think the Ravens requested to,
I don't think he takes that job.
To work with Lamar Jackson?
Maybe, but I'd rather just stick to Patrick Mahomes, stick to what's made me successful, and keep growing my opportunities for a head coaching gig somewhere down the line. That's what I think. Here's an idea for Texans OC. Who did the Jets just let go as their OC?
LaFleur, right?
LaFleur. Mike LaFleur. And he was with the 49ers.
Wait, he got a job with the Rams, right?
Oh, he did?
Yeah, he did.
Oh, shit. My bad. Okay, I did not know that. All right, then who do we think is OC? Who are some OCs that are still available?
There's the Broncos one. Because he was I know people are gonna be like,
Well,
why the Broncos won, right? I'll tell you why.
Why?
His name is like Justin Ouden, right?
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't primarily calling plays throughout the season,
Yeah.
but the last 2 weeks he did. He was the main play caller. They averaged
And he was
27.5 points per game. So they were like, oh, like this guy could be. And also, the Washington, I think Scott Turner, the Washington OC.
Okay.
He just got a job with the Raiders, so he's going to be on the Raiders staff. I just recently read that.
Okay. I mean,
yeah.
Oh man. I mean, Houston Chronicles wants me to sign in.
Dude, I hate when those like websites.
Yeah, it's annoying. But let's look at some candidates that like other like news sources.
They said like Bob Slowick or whatever from the Niners.
Oh, I think these guys are also gonna make me try and sign in. But
Oh no, okay. Keep going down.
Oh, what the hell?
Did they not even post it?
I don't even know. Some of these sites are so weird. Can we just get a normal one? Okay, Bobby Slowick. I mean, who is Bobby Slowick?
He's on the Niners, right?
Oh, is he?
Was he the passing game coordinator? He was the passing game coordinator for the Niners.
Down.
He's on your team, bro.
I did not even know that. Bobby Slowick. Okay, yeah. Football coach. He is the offensive passing game coordinator for the 49ers. Yeah, I mean, and it has worked. So why not?
It's worked with Jimmy and Purdy, right? So
Yeah. It's great. That's great. Maybe that is the hire. Who knows? He might poach more 49ers coaches.
Anthony Lynn's still out there.
Yeah, I know Anthony Lynn is there. But we'll see.
Yeah.
DC, does he need a DC? Or can he just be the defensive coordinator himself?
Some people do that, right?
Yeah. Also, the 49ers, who are they going to get as DC? There were talks about Steve Wilkes.
Steve Wilkes is going to be a good hire. I think Fangio, now they confirmed it's going to be on
Dolphins,
yeah.
Miami.
So, yeah, he's out. But Wilkes would be a good hire.
Mm-hmm.
There's, another one, I think, on the Niners. He was, he might be promoted to the DC. I forgot his name. It's, I think his name was, not Bobby, but it was,
Was he a linebackers coach?
Something like that.
49ers DC candidates. Chris Kosurek?
Yeah, that's the guy, yeah.
I've heard of his name before. Yeah, he might be,
promoted.
I think he
because
might be.
Because they want to continue the scheme D'Amico used.
Yeah, and I mean, D'Amico just continued the scheme that Bob Saleh did.
But I think D'Amico, did you think, was it the same, or you think D'Amico sort of
I mean, he was their linebackers coach while Bob Saleh was DC, right? Rob Saleh.
Linebackers were the best in the league.
Exactly.
They still continue to be the best.
Yeah. Chris Harris is also the DB's coach for the Commanders, is a potential one right there.
Yeah.
But
I think it's either going to be between Wilkes and Kurik.
Yeah.
That's his name, right? Kurik?
Kosurek or Kokurek or something like that. We'll find out how it's pronounced once the news breaks. But the quarterbacks, we got to talk about the quarterbacks because there's going to be a lot of turnover in the NFL offseason and a lot of new quarterbacks going to new teams. We're going to talk about 10 quarterbacks that we think are going to be on maybe the same team or a new team. Yeah. So let's start this, Nihar. Let's talk about number 10, Baker Mayfield. Where does Baker Mayfield go?
He's going to sign a deal with the Rams because I think Stafford's getting older.
Okay.
He's sort of on the decline. And Sean McVay really liked Baker Mayfield coming out of college. And I felt like Baker did a pretty good job in the games he filled for the Rams. So I think, Baker's going to probably sign a...
Baker put up 51 against Denver.
But I think he's going to... just to be in the McVay system.
Okay.
McVay likes him, so I think he'll stay.
Good. Okay. I tend to agree. I think I don't see a reason why Baker Mayfield take some years off, sit as a backup, get some knowledge, and then take over for the Rams once Stafford's gone. I mean, Stafford could only just stay for one more year, dude.
That's what I think too.
Yeah. So we got that. Sam Darnold. What do you think happens to him?
I can't think of a team. I feel like he's gonna stay with the Panthers.
You think so?
It's gonna be
they did trade a lot of capital for Sam Darnold when
it's going to be him at quarterback and whoever they draft as
I mean, they have also who's that guy? Matt Corral. They have Matt Corral.
PJ Walker. Isn't it PJ Walker?
Yeah, PJ Walker, but I don't think he's going to. Yeah. They might try and play Matt Corral. Who knows?
And I think Panthers are going to draft a quarterback.
Maybe. They drafted Matt Corral last year.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're doing. The quarterback situation seems like such a mess.
I think he's going to stay with the Panthers.
Okay. Yeah, I tend to agree. It's hard to think maybe the Buccaneers, but it's kind of a reach. Yeah. This one's an interesting one. Let's talk about Jimmy Garoppolo.
Tampa.
Tampa Bay.
I felt, when the moment Brady retired, right, the first retirement, I was like, this is perfect for Jimmy G. Like I think that's the year they
Now
lost
he can truly be Brady's successor.
Feel like Jimmy G. I think what he ideally wanted to go in a situation where he could win.
Mm-hmm.
That was his like motive. So I felt like Tampa's the best place for him to win if he wants to like make the playoffs.
Okay.
And have like maybe some good of a run.
Yeah.
So I think Tampa's like the ideal fit.
What about Vegas? What
Vegas,
about?
I was thinking about that. That's interesting.
What about?
Vegas have the 7th pick of the draft.
So you think they rather draft
Maybe.
a quarterback?
Or we'll get to it later, but I don't know. This is interesting to me.
Yeah, and then how about the Jets?
Rodgers.
You think that's
I feel
more?
like that's like
it's
either,
not. It's Rodgers or nobody.
Yeah, that and also but did you see what Devontae tweeted? Like somebody asked which neighborhood is Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah.
And he said
It's
mine.
mine.
So
Yeah.
could Rodgers, reunite with Devontae in Vegas? Rodgers wants out.
Here's what I think. I think whoever loses the whoever loses the Rodgers trade, either that is Las Vegas or the New York Jets. Also, another one I'm thinking about is Tennessee. Tennessee could also be another place.
And Malik Willis is garbage.
Here's something I feel like nobody was covering around. I think I watched a clip of the Pat McAfee show, and Aaron Rodgers said that he was in Nashville for something.
I think for golf, they had a golf thing.
Maybe, but like, you think he could have also saw some Titans people while he was in Nashville?
I'm trying to win, bro. Like, I'm not trying to play it in Tennessee.
Tennessee could win that division.
I like
they
the
could
Jaguars
give
now.
Jacksonville. Yeah. You think Jaguars are going to be a better team?
Yeah.
Okay.
Calvin Ridley's gonna play.
That's true. They got the wide receiver there. Okay. So you're saying Jimmy Garoppolo goes to Tampa?
Yeah.
Okay. I think that's the best bet too. Like it just makes sense poetically. Like continue Brady's steps. Okay. Daniel Jones.
I think he stays with the Giants.
Yeah, I think so too.
He had a good run.
Yeah.
Of Dable, did a good job with them.
I think he stays, but I do think this is a fluke run that Daniel Jones did. Like this Giants run.
I feel like you need to get him some weapons. Get him a legit receiver.
Yeah, maybe we can give him a receiver.
Nice weapon and then see how he does.
But I still feel like the Giants, like honestly, dude, if I was the Giants, like try and go for Lamar. Like that would be so
Lamar
cool.
and Saquon, bro.
Exactly.
Oh,
that would be insane. Like I think the Giants were good because of Saquon, not because of Jones. And I feel like Jones kind of like I felt like Jones was due to have a fluke run. Yeah. Well, this one's a weird one. Jacoby Brissett.
I don't think he'll be back with the Browns. I don't know. I just I felt Jacoby did a better job than Deshaun, honestly.
What if he goes to where do you think he goes?
Tennessee, like you were saying, could be.
Tennessee could be a good one.
I was thinking if the Tua thing doesn't work out, he could sign there.
Yeah. What about Houston?
I don't know if you want to build around that.
Yeah. I mean,
he's an okay quarterback. He's decent.
Houston would rather he could be the quarterback that starts them while they're developing their quarterback they drafted.
No, if you're number 1 and number 2 pick, you're starting.
You think so?
Or unless he signs there as a backup.
I mean, you had Zach Wilson wasn't starting, right? In the beginning of the season. Oh, he was. Someone was.
It was Flacco, but then he got hurt.
No, but that's this season. Mayfield was the number 1 overall pick. They had Tyrod Taylor starting.
Oh yeah.
In Cleveland. So that's what I remember. They could do the same thing with what they do in Houston. They have Brissett. You don't think so? So where you think he goes to Miami for Tua's insurance?
Yeah.
Yeah, make sure they don't have Skylar Thompson out there again. Yeah. Geno Smith. How about this one? Stays in Seattle. Absolutely.
Very good year. Literally an all-pro type of year.
Oh, also, can we just quickly go over the Pro Bowl? Like the quarterbacks in the Pro Bowl this year were so weird.
Tyler Huntley.
Who
threw 2 touchdowns and 3 interceptions, made a Pro Bowl.
I actually researched this. The reason why Tyler Huntley was the quarterback was because he was the 7th alternate for the Pro Bowl. So he had 6.
So how come Joe Burrow was out?
Joe Burrow decided to pull out for undisclosed reasons. That's what he said. That's what came out. Mahomes didn't go because he's going to Super Bowl.
Allen had an injury, right?
Josh Allen has an elbow injury, and then you had
Is Joe Burrow undisclosed coping?
who was I think I forget who the top three were, but Derek Carr. It's just so weird. Derek Carr, Tyler Huntley, Trevor Lawrence is deserved. That one made sense.
Yeah.
And then the NFC, Geno Smith, and then who were the other two? They were also like kind of interesting. Ah man, I'm forgetting. I'm blanking now. Kirk Cousins. No, not Kirk Cousins. Oh, Kirk Cousins was one of them, I think. Kirk Cousins.
Trevor Lawrence was an alternate.
No, Trevor Lawrence did play though in the
Yeah.
skills showdown. It was Kirk Cousins.
Tyler Huntley too, right?
Tyler Huntley, we already like NFC wise. I'm talking about the Kirk Cousins. Forgetting now. I'm blanking. What the hell? Brock Purdy could have been a Pro Bowl alternate.
Yeah.
No. I'm kidding. Let me see who are the Pro Bowl quarterbacks. One sec. Pro Bowl QBs. I remember AFC. It was Carr, Huntley, and Lawrence. But then the NFC was weird because NFC was also kind of strange. Man. I'm not. I don't remember.
I forgot. I didn't even like. Pay
Oh,
attention.
Kirk, Geno, and then one more.
Kirk and Geno.
Let me just see.
Carr was there, but that's AFC.
Yes, NFC Pro Bowl QBs. Kirk, Geno, and Goff. Yes, Goff was the third one. Cause it was very strange. And actually, the best quarterback I think was Derek Carr in the skills showdown. But anyways, let's continue. Let's talk about Lamar. Where do you think Lamar is gonna go?
He stays with the Ravens.
I think so too.
Because
I think all this drama.
The Dolphins were saying they wanted to continue with Tua.
Yeah.
So I don't think he's out of their future.
Okay.
But yeah, I think Lamar stays.
Okay. Last two. Let's do Derek Carr.
Derek Carr. I feel like he's gonna be a Colt.
You think he's gonna go
For
to
some
Indy?
reason, man.
Yeah. I just think Indianapolis needs to draft quarterback. They need to stop trying to go for veterans. It has not worked out.
But Carr's like the perfect veteran because I know like Carr won't be like a 1 year.
I mean,
rental.
we also said that about Carson Wentz as well, right? So.
But I think Carr is better than Wentz.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's looking like Carr will go to Indy as well. And finally, last but not least, definitely not the least, Aaron Rodgers. Where does he stay? Where does he go next season?
Yeah, I think like I said earlier, probably the Jets but Vegas could be a very intriguing option.
You think there's no way Aaron Rodgers is a Green Bay Packer next season?
No, not a chance.
Absolutely no chance.
Absolutely not.
Wow.
I think both sides want to move on. I think it's better for both because you want Packers to build around Jordan Love, and Rodgers wants maybe like a fresh start somewhere else outside of all the Packers like noise and stuff. So
yeah, and he has 3 years left in his contract.
Yeah.
So he could play 3 years in Vegas.
Yeah.
He could do 3 years in New York. I think he should go to New York. He'll follow exactly the same route as Brett Favre, which is pretty funny.
Dude, if that does Favre was actually pretty good on the Jets. I remember.
I mean, he only lasted like a season. I don't think they did that well.
They went 9-7, I think.
And then the Jets traded him to Minnesota, and that's where
I
he
thought
really
Minnesota
took off.
was after Jets, or was that?
No, Minnesota was Minnesota's
no,
after.
Before.
No. Minnesota
Let
is
me check Brett Favre.
Check Favre's history. I think because we got to double check this. Usually we'll have a fact checker with us, but we don't. Brett Favre, NFL career.
Go. Wait.
So he got drafted by
you're
ETL.
right. Jets. Then
He had Jets for a season. He went 9-7.
Oh yeah, I was right. He did go 9.
Then he went to Minnesota, had a 12-4 season, and then he had Minnesota. He had 5-8, and then he just ended the season in Minnesota. That would be funny. Could you imagine Rodgers goes to the Jets and then goes to Detroit?
Yeah.
Or something like that. And Detroit
He's not gonna go to Detroit though. I feel.
Yeah, maybe not.
I feel Minnesota would actually be legit contenders with Rodgers.
Yeah, if they move on from Kirk Cousins.
Wait, isn't Kirk? No, Kirk has one. Wait, isn't Kirk Cousins a free agent?
Is he? I don't know.
He signed a 1-year deal with the Vikings this year.
Yeah, I mean, Kirk Cousins is also, I don't know. Like, I think they're going to keep Kirk Cousins, though, even though he kind of holds them back. Like,
all right, man. They can make the playoffs and keep losing in the wild card.
exactly. All right, but that's the NFL news. Let's go to the NBA segment. We'll talk about one sec. We will talk about the one and only LeBron James. I mean, we saw how angry he was when the refs missed that call.
I was so pissed off.
We were watching that game right after the last episode finished. We were watching the Lakers game to see how they do. But tell me your feelings about that.
Completely robbed, completely cheated. The refs have to be ashamed of themselves. They costed the Lakers a game. The refs have costed the Lakers about 3 to 4 games this season. The officiating has been horrendous. Like, I got so mad when I saw that tweet from the official NBA account saying, "Oh, we're gonna have sleepless nights." No,
I saw that. What the hell was that
tweet?
tweet?
They were being purely sarcastic. They don't give a shit. All right, like they just want the Lakers to get screwed over. They want LeBron to lose, but guess what? It's not gonna happen. We're gonna keep fighting. We're gonna keep winning. And the refs, like, I think it's time to start fining refs for missing calls, suspending refs for missing calls. Time to hold these refs accountable. Hold their feet to the fire.
Interesting, you say that.
For them to understand what players have to go through.
Interesting.
Because they're all human too at the end of the day.
So, you think they win that game?
Yeah.
They should have won that game?
Yeah. We were robbed. We were cheated. We were bamboozled. We were hoodwinked. It was literal theft. Robbery. Any way you can describe it. That's what it was.
Going off of that, Pat Beverly walks up to the refs with a camera, and he shows.
Good for him. I'm happy he did that. And you know what? Fuck the refs for giving him a technical.
They gave him a tech for that, yeah.
Yeah, like you're going to miss that kind of a call and then give us a technical for that.
Insane. And the Celtics destroyed you guys in overtime. Yeah. Not a chance.
Not destroyed, but like they escaped.
Yeah. Okay. You think the Lakers could make it to the playoffs?
Yeah, playoffs we'll make the playoffs.
What are you guys sitting at right now?
25 and 28, but we have the Pelicans tomorrow. They're currently on a 10-game losing streak.
Okay.
So I think we can beat them. Then we have OKC the game after at home, which is potentially the game LeBron will break Kareem's scoring record. So that will be also a W. So 27 and 28, you know?
Okay.
I like where we are with the West, being unpredictable.
Even if they get the 8th seed, you think they can upset Denver?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Like, we get LeBron, AD healthy. Don't want to face us.
Okay.
They don't want to see us.
Okay. Let's move on to the third topic in the NBA, and that is that Kyrie Irving, this is huge news that came out today. Kyrie Irving has requested a trade again. Didn't he request a trade before?
He requested it in the summer.
And now the franchise has been informed that Irving prefers to move on ahead of the February 9th trade deadline or will leave in free agency in July. How do you think KD feels right now?
What I saw from the news was that KD was very shocked by this. Like, the entire Nets organization was surprised. Everybody was surprised because Kyrie was balling out. Like, he was like doing so good. The Nets are second in the East right now.
Yeah. They
have a chance to make a good playoff run. And you know what? All of a sudden, just when you think, the Nets is, they're doing good, Kyrie, is on his best behavior.
Typical Kyrie.
Zero controversy so far since what happened that time.
With all the vaccines and all that stuff.
Like, it's been like a couple of months, right? We haven't heard Kyrie.
Kyrie's
balled out. Like he's finally got his act together.
Yeah.
And then, this morning, Kyrie Irving requested a trade. But all I got to say is one thing. Kyrie Irving, you are a Los Angeles Laker. And I'm so happy because we're going to get Kyrie Irving. And you know what? That means the Lakers are winning the championship.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to be so happy.
Kyrie, LeBron, and AD taking you to a finals appearance.
Not just take us, win it too.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll see if that happens, man. Because
I'm speaking it into existence. Kyrie Irving is going to be a Los Angeles Laker. And the Lakers are going to win the championship. You heard it from me. I know I say this a lot, but this is for real. It's happening. Kyrie Irving, you are a Laker.
All right. Speaking on the Lakers, we had a Warrior talk about the Lakers because Draymond Green said about LeBron, I recently said he's the greatest face the NBA's ever had. Think about the day and age we live in. Cameras, social media. He's never had a scandal. He's never been arrested. He's never been photoed drunk. These things go hand in hand with durability, longevity, and consistency. What do you think about these comments?
Yeah, I think
about
LeBron's
LeBron?
probably like the most like if you want to look at like a player with like no controversies who's been so great for so long, it's LeBron.
Yeah.
He's never been in trouble. He's never done anything bad.
I mean, these seem like common sense things, though. Like
it does, but you've seen like a lot of these guys get in trouble for like, you know, stupid shit.
Once they get fame in their head, they act really dumb.
LeBron's probably the most like scrutinized like athlete of all time to me.
And
the pressure he's had since he was in high school to be like the chosen one. Literally in an interview right before he even stepped onto the court, Bob Costas interviewed LeBron saying, you know, people are saying it's not enough to be a great player. Like if people like if you're not even like a first ballot Hall of Famer, you're going to be considered a failure. He said that to his face.
But there's no way he's not a first ballot Hall of Famer, even if he stinks up the rest of the season.
Imagine hearing that at 16 or 17 years old, right?
Oh, yeah.
That was the interview.
That must be crazy
foot onto the NBA court.
Yeah.
To do that and more, to be in the GOAT conversation, like that's just extraordinary. That just shows like he's like to me like one of the top 3 to 5 greatest sports athletes of all time, like in history.
Do you think he's better than MJ?
You know, I'm gonna leave my reservations for that for now. I can't, you know, I want to wait for a few things.
Like wait for him to retire. Or
retire, what? you know, see some, you know, accomplishments here and there.
Okay.
I want to wait till, you know.
You think LeBron has another ring left in him?
Yeah.
Or maybe more than one ring?
If Kyrie
trade,
ring? Yeah.
So LeBron's going to play for what, 5 more years?
3 to 5 more years, yeah.
3 to 5 more years. Yeah. Okay. Last topic, because we got another star. Giannis scored 54 points. And he said, I think I'm going to go to Culver's. I'm going to get 50 cheeseburgers and try to eat as many as I can. You know why I'm going to Culver's? Because Chick-fil-A did not give me no free meals. I know Culver's will give me free meals. I trust Culver's. And in fact, you see like all these Culver's in Milwaukee. Yeah. They're all changed their billboards. Like, yeah, Giannis, come in. We'll give you 50. 54, I think. Not even 50.
54, yeah.
So 54 cheeseburgers. And we'll donate 54 diapers to charity or something like that. Yeah. 54,000 or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, Giannis seems like every time he's making the top 5 list, he's always something funny.
Yeah, Giannis is like a really funny guy. He's really humble. You know, he lets his game do the talking. But I feel like he's so relatable as a person too. He tries to, you know, make everybody feel like, you know, welcome, make people like feel like happy, you know, like on like he's not like a guy who's like very like, you know, mean to the media type of guy. He's always like trying to make jokes, like trying to make people comfortable. And
trying to be like personable. I remember after he won the finals, he was
on
like
his IG live, he was like, can I get like, you know, 50, you know, chicken nuggets at the drive-thru at Chick-fil-A.
And he also was saying like, hey, I did this with no super team. Like I finally like, you know, this is possible.
Which is true. He didn't have a super team and he won. He earned that. So
yeah. Anyways, that is the last topic of the week. Nihar, you have anything to say? You have anything to impart on the people?
Yeah. So, just to let y'all know, Lakers are winning the championship. Just want to let everybody know that. Like, people have been clowning on me. I've been clowning on them. But you know what? It's going to happen. And, you know, manifestation is an important thing. And, you know, I just, you know, was, you know, checking my phone here and there right now just to see how my parlays were doing. And I lost them. I didn't even win partial. I didn't even get partial, the flex. I lost everything. But wait, that means I'm getting $20 back, right?
Because it's flex.
It's Flex Friday. Happy Flex Friday to those who celebrate it. Just want to say that. You know, if you're on Prize Picks, you know, putting in monies, you know, I know it might be a frustrating day for everybody, but you know what? That's what Flex Friday is there for, to get our money back. But, you know, to also earn a lot of money, too, potentially. So, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I wish you all the best. I personally think...
yeah, Tatum didn't hit his 30, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
He had 20.
I tried to humble him today by getting a little bit of it.
Wait, that means you're getting...
20?
Yeah, 20.
That's horrible.
That means you're getting your money back, right?
I don't think so. I think I didn't do a flex bet.
Oh, 2, right?
Yeah. But, nevertheless... This looks like it's the end of my Prize Picks career, but we will look onto yours with
20. I still have 20 more to spend on the Mahomes, you know, free entry.
We will, we will look at your career with great interest, Nihar. But I feel like we'll talk more about football next week.
Yeah, football predictions coming next week.
And
we'll talk about our bet next week. Though,
I mean, I don't think I'll be betting.
No. Like, I mean, you know, the one we had, the BK one.
Oh, yes. We'll talk about that one next week. That'll be a fun one. But if you've seen the Albert Einstein one too, it's like
Yeah,
my
yeah.
network has gone kaput. Brilliant.
Bro, I can't wait to like criticize the commercials next week too.
Dude, actually, that's another thing. Like, we should also like think about the commercials.
We should do a post like Super Bowl. Yeah.
Maybe we'll do one too. We'll talk about the commercials, and
Yeah.
I think one thing we'll also see that we want to do. We may take a break after the Super Bowl, but we'll start having more guests on. We may just do more Zooms because that might be just easier to set up. Have more exciting guests. Have people talk. I think one of the most exciting things is just hearing what people are up to. But that was episode 16. I think this is relatively a shorter one. What is this? 1 minute, 1 hour, 10 minutes.
Damn,
like
okay.
it's a pretty decent
we
one.
about to get some nice ramen after too, right?
Yeah, we about to get some ramen. So for all of us here at the Borty and Nihar Show, this has been episode 16. We will see you next week for episode 17, the pre-Super Bowl. See you guys.
Peace.